Hi, Capricorn. So I had a viewer request to do a Capricorn reading, and I'm more than happy to do it. And as I say in some of my other videos, if you always want to comment with your sign or your question, I would love to get to your own readings that we can make as a collective. But anyway, this is for the sun sign of Capricorn. And I wanted to see how this goes. So I'm getting an energy of you have gifts, very spiritual gifts that will lead you to a lot of success. I've been getting that a lot lately, but specifically with you, Capricorn. So I do want to roll a zodiac sign. I know that you are Capricorn, but I want to see if we can get the energy of someone around you or just the planetary energies. I just want to see what we're dealing with here in this reading. So we ended up with the sign of Aries. So you could be dealing with an Aries, but not necessarily. Aries has to do with willpower and honesty and strength. And so it may be that the universe is really asking you to dig deep into your willpower and into your strength at this time. Also, Venus is in Aries right now. And so that can be a very passionate time too when Venus is in Aries. So let's pull some more cards to see how the Aries factor plays into this. But I do want to start with an animal spirit guide card because I feel like if it is time for some kind of action, that we should see what that looks like from your animal spirit guides. So we have Ladybug. We pulled Ladybug a couple of days ago in a collective reading, but this says, this is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all the good things in your life. So what this Ladybug is telling me, Capricorn, is that there may be abundance and good fortune all around you, but perhaps you're not open to receive it. So let's go through some more to see what else we can get from that and about you being able to receive all of your blessings. And I just saw 222 on my timer when I said that. So let's see what the tarot says. There's the Four of Wands. This is really good energy. The Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, the Eight of Swords. Underneath, the King of Wands. There's that Aries energy we were just talking about. And so is the Four of Wands, very Aries energy. You also have the King of Swords, the Three of Wands, more Aries energy, the Moon, the Knight of Wands, more Aries energy. Oh, a lot of fire in this reading. And then underneath everything, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And so I feel like the advice here for you is to really look at, again, all of the blessings that are all around you, but perhaps you feel like you can't see them yet, that maybe it's just time to take a break. When you have invested a lot of work into something, which it looks like you have with this Seven of Pentacles, then perhaps it's time to just relax and really look around to see all the things that you have brought in, all of your manifestations that already have come in. I see the Moon card here. We do have a full moon right now that is in Virgo. And when the full moon is in Virgo, that again is about taking action. So I'm getting a couple different messages about you needing to take action in order to receive your blessings. But maybe we can see exactly what this means for you. It feels like with the Four of Wands coming in this position, it feels as though you are resisting something, that you are maybe very close to some kind of a milestone, but maybe you are suppressing your gifts. Maybe you're being timid about bringing your gifts out into the world. So that's what this Four of Wands here is telling me. But you are coming out in a lot of really wonderful ways, and I want to get to it slowly. There are no other people in this reading. I can tell you that right now. There's a lot of court cards, but they are all you, and I can already tell that. So this is how I know this is a journey of your own, of yourself. This is not a journey with another person. But there's so much fire around you. We rolled Aries. We've got fire, 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 fire coming through here. So there is this feeling again of just you needing to take the action of a fire sign. The very good news, if I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, your immediate future energy is the energy of the King of Wands. And there is no better fire sign than the King of Wands at being a fire sign. So it feels like maybe there has been some kind of a blockage when it comes to whatever this is you're working on. So if you're being called to a certain spiritual path right now, if there is some kind of a journey you're being called to, some kind of a passion project, some kind of an art project, something you're trying to bring out to the world, perhaps that you're being timid about, there is some kind of blockage there. But I feel like with this King of Wands being you right around the corner, it feels like you're going to burn right through that blockage. But right now you're seeing yourself as the King of Swords. So it feels like the energy is off a little bit between you, what your actual energy is and how you perceive yourself. So what this tells me with the King of Swords here is that you are feeling more like you're trying to approach the situation in a logical way. You're trying to approach the situation with your mind, where the King of Wands approaches the situation with more of spirit, with more of inspiration. They don't necessarily operate on logic. They operate with what their intuition and their spirit guides are telling them. So I think you're seeing yourself as, no, I can't go ahead and do this passion project. I'm much too logical of a person to do that. So what I think is happening here is you are so enmeshed in the situation, you almost have to step back from it so you can see it from a different perspective. But the good news is it looks like you're about to do just that. You're about to see yourself as this King of Wands. This is your future energy, your near future energy right there. So that's all I need to know about the fact that you are getting ready to really step into your King of Wands energy, which is apparently what this reading is really calling for. You definitely are an extremely intuitive person. And so I think that's why it's going to be easy for you to make the shift from King of Swords to King of Wands, because your intuition is really going to guide you towards that fire energy that you know you're being called towards. So this, because you have such a strong foundation of being a Queen of Cups and your intuition is on point, this is what's going to help you to evolve from the King of Swords to the King of Wands. This is how you're going to get to your next phase. Your intuition is the thing that's going to get you to your next phase. There's also an aspect here about healing an inner child. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can be my healer card and also can be my mother card, but depends on the rest of the cards. But in this case, it looks like you have already a strong foundation of healing your inner child, which is why I think you're making this transition from King of Swords to King of Wands in order to take the appropriate action that's being asked of you right now. So your environment is the Three of Wands. And so with your environment being the Three of Wands, it's like you can see clearly, you know what the truth is, you know what you have to do, you know what your intentions are, you're being honest with yourself about what the next steps are, but you're still in that waiting phase, you're still in that receiving phase. And I think what this reading is really saying to us right now is to take action first. Take action with this Aries energy, and then you can wait and receive all of your blessings. So if there is something you're holding yourself back from because you're, whatever, I don't know, if you're avoiding it, if you're suppressing it, if it's something that you just don't feel like you have the proper skills to do, do it. This is very clearly saying that you do have the skills to do it and the world needs you. This is very strong. I think with the Hierophant here, you're releasing an energy of something that has been traditional for you. So whatever it is that's kind of keeping you stuck in this traditional cave. So, for example, and this is just an example, if you were told by your family that you are going to be a doctor, everyone in your family has always been a doctor and that is your fate, and then you became a doctor, but now you're saying, but I'm really being called to write a screenplay, but I don't want to do it because I'm stuck in this tradition of being a doctor, and my whole family is going to disown me or look at me or think of me differently if I start to write screenplays instead. Just an example. But I think you're releasing that. I think you're starting to come around to the fact that, hold on, I don't have to be a doctor. I am not a doctor. I don't feel like a doctor. I don't feel like I resonate with this at all. And I think I want to write. So I feel like that's what's happening, is you're transitioning to something else entirely. But what that means with the moon, it means you really have to face your fears. And I think it's what you want, but simultaneously exactly what you don't want. So this is really going to require you to kind of face a shadow side of yourself, and to understand that being authentic actually is a lot easier than you might think. That being the doctor when you don't feel authentically like a doctor is actually the hardest thing you can do. And that facing this shadow side of yourself is just letting yourself, allowing yourself to be authentic, be yourself. There are plenty of doctors in the world, to use that example. You don't have to be a doctor. If you are being called, especially by spirit, to do something else and to write the screenplay, then that is what you have to do. It is your life. It is your life. And be authentic is what this moon is telling me. To face that shadow side of you that was told when you were little not to be authentic. If you were told by your parents, for example, to put that screenplay away and start studying medical books, and it made you feel ashamed for being a writer, face that. Face that part of yourself, that inner child that we were just talking about with the Queen of Cups, and tell that inner child that it's okay to be a writer, that it's not anything to be ashamed of, and that, in fact, is your authentic self. So I think with the Eight of Swords falling here, I feel like you're manifesting a lot of stress for yourself. And it seems like it's really kind of unnecessary for you to have all of that stress for yourself, and that it might be more important that you get clear on what it is you really want, and maybe get clear on a goal and to stay focused on that, but move quickly towards it so that you can achieve those goals. So for example, if you're already a doctor, to use our current example, you don't have to quit and pack up your practice and sell your practice right now. You can still practice being a doctor during the day, but go home and write the screenplay. And then when the screenplay is written, then workshop it and bring it out into the world and see what happens. But that, I think, is going to help release you from just the idea of it. It's going to release you from the stress that this is bringing, from the fear that it's creating, that you can't be your authentic self. Because once you actually write the masterpiece, you're going to feel authentic. You're going to say, oh yeah, that's why I wanted to be a screenwriter, because I'm really good at it. And that is my authentic self. This is fantastic though, because in your near future and in your outcome, you have transformed into these very fiery energies. Look how much fire is in you in your future. King of Wands, Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is someone who is off and running. And this is you in the outcome of this. You have become this person who just decides, I know what I want to do and I'm chasing after it. I'm going with the Aries energy that is really firing me up right now. It's like this fire under my feet that it's just going to keep me going forward. And this is the moment that you're going to abandon any of those masks that you wore. You're going to go after your authentic self, and you're just going to walk away from this old life, and you're going to find that you are a completely evolved version of yourself, and you're going to feel how great it feels to be authentic. Wow. So, Capricorn, that is your bonus reading. Please, please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.